Welcome to the video you're gonna watch more than my favourites of the year. That's right, it's the most disappointing albums of 2022. I don't want to dramatise that so much. That's what we do in Questy. We cringe ourselves into an early grave. And today we're talking about the worst album, well, the most disappointing albums of 2022. So that doesn't mean that actual shit, because I could easily just throw in all, like, the Psycho Sinner album, throw in Five Finger Death Punch's album, but really, was that disappointing to me? No, I had no expectations for it. And, you know, my expectations were met. They were shit. They weren't that good. But I don't think it's very good just slamming bands, because everyone knows the worst of the year. It's pretty common knowledge. It's all boring. It's fucking boring. So today, most disappointing. So these are albums that you probably like. These are albums that you probably hold dear. And we're going to destroy them. So, let me know down below what's your favourite, what's your least favourite albums of the year. And your most disappointing. And let's get started with one of mine. And I have them right here. First up on the chopping block, we have Blood Incantation with Time Wave 0. That's correct. This album, it kind of feels bad me putting it here. But compared to a lot of the other Blood Incantation stuff, Starspawn, how amazing is Starspawn? And Hidden History of the Human Race with that fucking long-ass song, which I love. I love spacey stuff. Come on, it's Questy. I should have changed my name to Spacey. But then I might get, confused with the great actor who likes to touch a little bit. But yeah, this album is it's just ambient. It's an ambient album, and you know how I feel about stuff like that. We did it on the Wolves in the Throne Room video. The ambient album's my least favourite. So, when this album came out, I loved the art. And then I noticed that it was going to be ambient. I was like, oh fuck, this is going to disappoint me. And it did! So I kind of feel bad putting it here because my expectations weren't as high. But I thought maybe it could grab me, but it just didn't. And compared to the other two albums, it's just not going to be played again. It's just not. It's like a soundtrack to a movie. It's fine, but I want to hear music. I don't want to hear just ambient stuff, so fuck it. Fuck it. It's here. Blood Incantation. It's here. Next up, the next four are actually ones that properly disappointed me. Because we're doing 5. One down, which was semi-disappointing. The next ones are actually disappointing. Starting with Abbath, Dread Reaver. Okay, I was excited for Abbath. I liked the first 2 albums. I didn't love them, but I liked them. They were fun. Offshoots of Immortal. It was fun. It wasn't quite as good as Demon Has His Soul and stuff. But it was fun. I enjoyed them, and I thought it's gonna be another fun album with great production, and it's just gonna be a blast. I'm gonna enjoy myself just like the first 2. Nope, didn't enjoy any of it. The production was fucking terrible. Singing was stranger than usual. I don't know what happened. What happened on this album? It's just bad. It really disappointed me, and a lot of people were in the comments like, "Oh, when are you gonna talk about Dread Reaver? When are you gonna talk about the new Abbath album?" And I was like, avoiding it because I didn't just want to slam stuff, but hey, we'll do it on this list. This is the list to do it on. I don't hate the album, but compared to the previous 2, it's a massive step down. I can't even see myself returning to it. Maybe just confirm myself, but really, I don't want to return to it. It was that bad. Really disappointing compared to the first 2 albums, and I don't want to listen to it again. So yeah, Dread Reaver. Sorry, Abbath. Speaking of black metal, here we go. This is where I get some comments. Last year or the year before, I put Rammstein in like my most disappointing, and I got those comments for that. But this year, Rammstein's album was fucking fantastic. So good job. This year, Behemoth, Opus Contra Natrum. I'm a massive Behemoth fan. I saw them on this tour. You know, I love them live. Nurgle's great. This album didn't do much for me. If you've seen my ranking, it's almost last. It's so boring. It's the most boring album. It's the most boring Behemoth album. It actually is the most boring one. Everything's so mid-paced. Every song is mid-paced. There's no excitement. Comparing it to Demigod is kind of silly because it's different styles, but even comparing it to I Loved You at Darkest, like, there's nothing on this one which speaks to me. A lot of people hate I Love You at Darkest, but I'm one of the ones who loved it. Bart's a Bell, come to me, Bart's a Bell. One of my favourite live songs. I adore that song. And what's that Wolves one? Wolves of Siberia is probably my top 10 Behemoth songs of all time. Intense as all fuck. God Equals Dog is fun as well, the cruel riffs. Nothing on this album comes close to any of them for me. Like, it just, everything is mid-paced, everything is boring. It really just dull. I don't think it's bad. It's not terrible. I'd listen to this one again over Abbath, but it disappointed me more. Because I really liked I Love You at Darkest. In fact, I loved You at Darkest, which seems to be, I don't know, a sore point because everyone hates it, but not everyone's the same, so yeah, that's why this one's here on my fucking list. Next up is one which probably people didn't expect to see here, and that's Coheed and Cambria with Vaxis 2. Coheed and Cambria, more on the progressive rock side than the progressive metal side, but I've ranked them before, and I enjoy all their albums. Some more than others, some are a bit just poppy. This one falls in line with the more poppy stuff. Loads of ballads, loads of... just again, it's like boring. It's like the Behemoth album is a very boring album compared to the previous one, which I thought was quite fun and upbeat. This one, not so much. And compared to the early stuff, Second Stage, Turbine Blade and stuff like that, it just doesn't hold a candle to that stuff. And this one, yeah, pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing. Some of the later stuff in the album's good, but the whole her first half just doesn't do anything for me. And that's when it loses people, when the first half of an album just doesn't grab you. So, yeah, Coheed, sorry. Still love you, but coming here on the most disappointing list. And that leaves one. Number one, my most disappointing album of 2022. Drumroll. Amon, Amarth, The Great Heathen Army, is my most disappointing album of the year. I really expected to enjoy this one. I don't know why though, because Berserker's not as good as like the ones before, and they've kind of been on like a downward trajectory. But I had high hopes, and this one destroyed them. So I have no high hopes for any other Amarth album. Still a great band live. Like live-wise, I'd suggest people go see them all the time. Real fun. Rowing in the Pit. It's good stuff. But just, it's sad. It's sad. Comparing it to every other album, it's just, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, where's the Death and Fires? Where's the Guardians of Asgard? Twilight of the Thunder Gods? The Cry of the Blackbirds? Like, these epic songs, nothing on this album even comes close to any of them. All the edge and, like, the ferocity is gone. And it's just mediocre. It's very mediocre, and it's easily the most disappointing album of the entire year. If you like it, good for you. For me, I didn't like it at all. And it's easily taken the top spot. Because I like this band. I just don't like this album. So, yeah, I mean, if you've seen my Amon and Amarth ranking, you could have seen this coming because it's dead last. And it'll stay dead last. Until they make another one. And hopefully it's good, you know, because we like to keep optimistic on this channel. Aside from this video, let's keep optimistic, so maybe they'll do another good one. Same with the rest of these bands. Yeah, negativity out of the way, let's take this little thing off. Ooh. Let me know down below what's your least favourite. I keep thinking favourite, because we always talk about favourites on here. So yeah, let me know down below what's your least favourites of the year. It's fun to discuss and slam some shit. And we'll see you on another list video soon, coming to the end of the year.